Hi you guys, Dodo Reactions here, and today it's time for another wrap-up video. Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 6 wrap-up, in fact. So sad, because we only have one season left. Yeah, that's life. It's a bitch sometimes, but I have to live with it. I think this video is going to be a little bit shorter than the others, because I think I shared a lot of my opinions on this season already. I've mentioned how I felt about the season every now and then. In general, this season was awful. It was so hard to watch. And again, not in terms of quality or anything, just because it was dark and depressing and way too real. Also, some things I was able to relate to a little bit, and it came, I don't know, came out of nowhere a little bit. I mean, I have also mentioned that a couple of times. Season 4 was very light, and then we had season 5, and it was also kinda, I don't know, it wasn't depressing, it wasn't really dark, but it was also a little difficult to watch every now and then, especially the body, of course. And Buffy struggling with everything, that was hard, but nothing compared to season 6, of course. Also, I think, with Giles, there was something missing, something very important. I think that's the reason all of this could have happened, everything that happened in this season. I don't think it would have happened if Giles had been there. I don't know when it was, if it was in To The Go or Grave or I don't know, but I asked why Anthony Stewart had left the show. And Zaroff, thank you for your answer. Apparently the actor wanted to spend more time in England, so he left, because apparently no one thought that this show would last this long. Because if I remember correctly, it was only supposed to be one season. And then they were like, oh, this show's actually good. So let's make 7 out of it. Also, we had some awful villains. I think they were awful. I didn't like them at all. So actually, I was kind of happy to have Willow at the final villain. Even though Tara had to die for that, but Evil Willow was great. She was a great villain, and Allison gave everything in this role. It was great. So yeah, there's nothing really to say about Giles. I just think, like in Once More with Feeling, he was kind of a dick. He felt like he had to leave because Buffy had to grow up, and he thought it was impossible for her to grow up when he's around, so he wanted to leave. And I kind of don't get this. Of course, Buffy struggles to deal with some things, but it makes sense because she doesn't have the time to learn everything you have to know as a grown-up, because she has to save the world all the time. So it makes sense that that there are some things she doesn't know. Like having money, paying bills and everything. I don't understand. Like slaying and working at the Double Me Palace. I don't know how she did that. Like, I think she has to sleep every now and then, so I have no idea. The day only has 24 hours, so... Because I would have thought that working for a Slayer would be kind of impossible, because she doesn't have the time. But apparently it's possible. Okay? But then, Giles was kind of a dick when he was like, yeah, Dawn is in danger, but we shouldn't do anything. Buffy should do it alone because she has to grow up, even though it endangered Dawn. He realized that, and yes, but the fact he did it in the first place was, didn't like that, but okay. They had to come up with a reason because, the actor wanted to leave for quite some time, so yeah, okay, I can live with that reason. It was okay, but it was also kind of sad. The argument with Willow at the beginning of the season, because she brought Buffy back, I was on his side. I think he was right. I think Willow was she selfish a little bit, I think, because she wanted to have her best friend back, yes. But also she thought, well, Buffy might be in hell and we have to get her out of there. And that, I don't know. It's complicated. But then again, Giles is right. She endangered the whole world just to bring one person back, even from hell. And I think Buffy is that kind of hero. She would have been like, let me suffer for all eternity in order to save the world. Don't endanger the world. But okay. In the end, Buffy didn't want to be brought back, but and he came back at the end of the season. But also, I don't have that much to say about that. He had superpowers. That was cool. Giles versus Willow. Great. But short. Because, the real hero, the real big hero was Xander and his big mouth. But all in all, he screwed up. Like everything else. His engagement was for nothing. And I think Anya was kind of right by what she said when he proposed to her, that the only reason he proposed to her was because he thought the world was ending. I don't know if... Then the world didn't end. And then he didn't want to tell his friends about their engagement. So I just think he wasn't ready. I think it's kind of clear that he wasn't ready because he left Anya at the altar. In a way, yes. No, in a way, they didn't really break up. I've mentioned that also a couple of times. I think it was kind of strange. He left and Anya stayed, and that was kind of a weird breakup, because for me it wasn't a breakup. I don't know if there's hope for them, since Anya is a demon, which also I'm not okay with that completely. Also, Xander summoned a demon, a singing, dancing demon that killed other people. That was also kind of weird. Why would he do that? Using magic to... And then immediately bitching about them singing and dancing, and I was like, what was your spell for, or whatever it was? Why did you summon the guy? Yeah, that was strange. And at the end of the season, he felt kind of useless. He couldn't do anything to save Tara or to prevent Buffy from getting shot. Like I said, I really thought he was gonna die. And yes, I kind of hated Xander at the beginning of the show, like in season 1 and season 2. I'm not sure. I think yes, but I like Tara more because I liked Willow and Tara very much. So, but yes, he felt very useless, and then when he had to protect Jonathan and Andrew from Willow, he also felt very useless. But in the end, he was the one to save the whole world. Because, if it wasn't for him, then Buffy was kind of distracted, so... And honestly, I don't think Buffy would have been able to talk Willow out of this. I think the connection Willow has to Xander is a little bit stronger. Like his story from kindergarten, I think he was really the only one who was able to do that. So, good for him. Yeah, it was a hard season for Willow. I think it was for Buffy and Willow. It was... They were the ones who suffered the most, I think. Yeah, Willow's problems with magic. I think most of us can imagine how dangerous it is, how quickly you can get addicted to something, especially with magic. I think I would have had the same problem if I had magic. Yeah, if I had magic. So Tara died this season, and it's even more of a bummer that they weren't together half of the season. Tara was totally right. She broke up with Willow. She destroyed my favorite ship of the show, but rightly so. It was the right thing to do. So can I be mad at her? Of course not. But it was still, they broke my heart with that. And Tara was like half of season 4, season 5, and season 6. It wasn't that long. 2.5 seasons. That's 2.5 out of 7. It's not that much. Yeah, Willow also almost killed Dawn while being completely high. But I was very proud of her because, yeah, she stopped using magic even after Amy kind of... how do you say it? I think it's not hotshotted because I think that's... But she drugged her. Amy drugged her. And I really thought, okay, Willow, for her, that's it. Because I really didn't think she was that strong, even after that, to still ignore her gift. But then again, I mean, yeah, she definitely impressed me. But then again, in Tabula Rasa, she also infuriated me. What she wanted to do was one of the bitchiest move I've ever seen. Like, after having this argument with her girlfriend, she wanted to erase or to manipulate her memory and also Buffy's memory. That was so... Actually, I'm missing the words for that. That was hardcore screwed up, hardcore, I don't know. But she was an awesome villain. The way she killed Warren, it was yucky, but it was also satisfying and great. It was the best kill ever. I mean, I don't really like torture scenes. Not even like, mostly, even with bad guys, I can enjoy them. This one, that was great, but in this case, it could have been a little bit more. But the way she tortured him was good, fitting. But yeah, I also mentioned that he was way too brave. I wanted to see him cry, really cry. That was kind of disappointing. His death definitely wasn't painful enough. But still good. So yeah, Willow killed someone. Interesting. In cold blood. And she almost killed 2 other people and then almost killed the world, destroyed the world. So curious how things are going to look for her, to be for her in season 7. After that, yeah, and Buffy. I've also mentioned this before, she's such a tragic hero. I don't know when it was, I think it wasn't season 5. Yeah, season 5. I don't know if there is a hero who had suffered even more than her. For me, personally, she's the most tragic. She's the biggest tragic hero ever. Because she kind of liked being dead instead of living this life. This place. When she was talking to Spike and admitted that she was in heaven. Yeah, I don't know. She said that she knew that everyone she loved was fine. I don't really think they were. Then again, they shouldn't They didn't have to fight vampires and demons, but they wanted to. Because just like Buffy, she also doesn't have to do it. Because the Slayer is Faith, but her responsibility, of course. Yeah, but still, I don't know. They weren't really fine. Oh yeah, and she got to meet her mother this season, even though it wasn't real, but for her, this moment, it was real, I think. Bringing her back, like a cameo, like this, that was awful. I mean, this whole episode was kind of uncomfortable, but yeah, I didn't really like that. I didn't like to see her like this. I want to see her again, definitely, but like as a ghost or something, but not like this. Yeah, and Buffy's depression issues, she said some things I was able to relate to a little bit, because mental instability or illness, I know what it's like. Last year was, I think, the most difficult year ever for me. I had some things to deal with. So, personally, I think that's one of the reasons why this season was so hard to watch, especially Buffy. Then again, I have to say, Sarah Michelle Gellar did an amazing job. She always does, but here in this season, she knows what she's doing. So, I think, Gone. I think it was Gone. I think the episode was called Gone. When at the end, or when she was invisible and knew that it would kill her eventually, she actually got scared because she didn't want to die. What she told Willow in the end, that was a good moment. It felt very good to hear that she has, I don't know, that she just wanted to live again. And in the finale, I think we definitely got her back, because when she was talking to Dawn at the end, she wants to live. She wants to see Dawn grow up. She wants to see her friends being happy, living their lives. At my darkest times, that was also like my nieces, watching them grow up. That was already enough reason for me to go on. But yeah, when Xander saved the world and Buffy started crying, I really thought she was like, oh damn it, the world didn't end. I didn't die. Like, I couldn't blame Dawn for thinking that at all. Especially after, like I mentioned, in Gone, she wanted to live again. She was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a try. And then she almost got raped by someone she really she cares about. I think that's one of the worst experiences you can go through. And even thinking about that, also, Melissa and Sinedra commented that it was very difficult for James to do this scene. Apparently, Sarah helped him to do it, which is even more confusing for me, because I would have thought playing like a victim in this situation would be way more difficult, but apparently not. At least not for her. But apparently it burdened him. So, poor guy. But yeah, again, I want Buffy back. The old Buffy, the happy Buffy, the season, let's say season 4 Buffy. Because having depressed Buffy for another season, no, please don't do that. Doesn't look like it, so great. Even though Dawn is only 1.5. How old is she now? Or how old will she be in season 7? I don't know when season 7 is going to take place. Like, is there a time jump or something? I don't know. But if not, then she 16 maybe. And she looked so grown up. But I think she's kind of 16 years old. But then again, Dawn should know how to defend herself. Yeah, in the finale, that was a start. But Buffy should train her. She should start training her. Dawn was like, I want to go patrolling with you, and Buffy was like, no, and I get that maybe that's too much a little bit, I don't know, but go in the basement, give her a sword, and just show her how to use it. That's a start. Then doing what they did in Angel, get a vampire, tie him up, and so Dawn can beat him up like over and over and over again. I think that's everything I have to say about the characters. Also, I hope to see Amber Benson again. Maybe in a dream or something, I don't know. I don't really like that Anya is a demon again. In a way, it's kind of interesting, but all in all, I really don't like it. But I think it kind of makes sense for her character. Because, like, being a demon after she had been a human for 3 years. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, maybe. So, we'll see. Then we have, of course, my top 5 episodes, and it was hard. This time it was really hard because yeah, since every episode was kind of depressing and everything, it was hard to choose. Number 5 is episode what number is it? Number 8, Tabula Rasa. It was fun, very much. Like, even though Willow pissed me off incredibly hard, but in the end, the result was funny. Xander and Willow were a couple in a way. Giles and Anya were engaged. Willow found out that she was gay for the second time. Anya casting some random bunny spells. Buffy calling herself Joan. Spike and Giles being father and son. Oh my god, I almost forgot. Giles and Randy. It was a great episode. It was one of the light-hearted episodes. I think it gave me a break. Even though in the end, like, Willow and Tara broke up. It was a fun episode with a very sad ending. But I got to see Michelle Branch. And the song, Goodbye to You, it's a great song. Haven't heard it in ages. Number 4 is Bargaining 1 and 2. It was a good premiere, and it kind of prepared me for what was coming, because that was the darkest premiere yet. And also, it was kind of hard to watch everything that was going on. Willow's test, Buffy waking up in her grave and being all alone first, then seeing this world, everything was destroyed and burning, and oh, Jesus. And then the moment at the top of the tower with her flashback and the music, ooh, and her realizing where she was. Because rewatching this scene after knowing where she really was hurt so much. Number 3 is the finale, episode 22, Grave. It was a good finale. The end with Willow and Xander, that was beautiful. Because, yeah, I kind of forgot that they had like a past together, like before season 1. They reminded me of that, how strong their bond really is. They also reminded me of that, like in Hell's Bells. They had a little conversation that was also kind of cute, but yeah. Also, like the very last scene when Spike got his soul back, apparently. Very surprising. And of course, Giles versus Willow. That was cool. Jonathan and Andrew left. That was also great. So another reason. Was it in Grave? Yes, it was. Yes, it was in Grave. Yeah, and number 2, episode 21, 2 to go. Buffy versus Willow. I mean, that was incredible. We got Veiny Willow. First we got Dark Willow, and then we got Veiny Willow. I don't know. Like, realizing that Willow really did not care about her friends anymore was it was also interesting. Yeah, because at the beginning she wanted to, or she risked their lives, like when they were driving in the police car and she was on top of the semi. Then she wanted to turn Dawn back into the key or something. She said she said to Buffy that it was just that she just fucked with Dawn, but I don't really think she was. I think she would have done that, maybe. I don't know. And number one, I think you guys can imagine, is episode 7, Once More with Feeling. A musical episode in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Who would have thought? It made sense. Like, there was a demon who made everyone dance and sing. So, yeah, it kind of made sense. But all of them expressing their feelings and thoughts through songs was interesting. I've listened to all of the songs again, of course, some more than the others. I think Walk Through the Fire is my favorite. But yeah, it's my favorite, but I think Something to Sing About is it's the most interesting one. I don't know. It when you don't speak any English, don't understand the lyrics, then you would think it's kind of a funny song, kind of a funny, happy song, but it was really very depressing. Of course, when Buffy was like, I was in heaven and everything, of course, that all also sounded very sad and depressing, but before that, when you know what she was feeling, then it was very depressing. Even though it didn't sound like it. And I also really liked this song. It was the song that impressed me the most, but still Walk Through the Fire is my favorite. Because it's an ensemble number. Yeah, Xander being the one who summoned the demon, that still I cannot take this seriously, not at all. Because he was the one to bitch about it the most. And Xander summoning a demon, that, no. I don't know if I mentioned that, but no. I just pretend that didn't happen. No, I don't like this. That doesn't make sense. That, for me, it doesn't make any sense. I totally get that he wanted everyone to be happy again after all the shit that went down. Even though it hadn't been that much shit up to that point. All of the bad stuff came after that. But okay. Yeah. That's my ranking. So I think it's time to answer your questions. Zeroth comes first. Looking back at the season, it's clear that the trio are not the big bad. They're just the catalyst that brings Dark Willow. With that in mind, how do you feel about them as a story device? A story device, okay. No. Still, I'm grateful. A little, grateful. I mean, still, they killed Terra. Or one of them killed Terra, so... But we had to deal with them for like the whole season. Kind of. And that was way too much. Them talking about some TV shows or something, comics, I don't even know what it was, because that's not my... Ugh. They were annoying most of the time. The only one I was able to like, even just a little bit, was Jonathan, because I always kind of liked him. But the fact that he was part of this group made me like him a little bit less. Even though he changed his mind at the end, he helped Buffy by telling her to smash Warren's balls. His orbs. Sorry. And also, that was kind of disappointing. He was like, yeah, we have to go to prison. We have to take responsibility. And then they just took off. I mean, okay, Xander was unconscious. Buffy and Dawn were gone. Like, they fell into this hole. But still. They ran off. I don't care. They're gone. That's good. So, No, I still don't like them. I can live with everything that's happened in season 6. Even Terra's death is something I can deal with, but they were the worst part of this season for me. XRHIX or Re-X? I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it. She asks, do you think the metaphors were well implemented in this season? Or too on the nose? Magic equals drugs, and Buffy's situation is like a depression. I think that was really good. It made the season so real. It shows, I think, you don't need gods or robots or vampires or anything to make your life a living hell, because life itself can do that very easily, because life can be so hard. It's for some people in some situations. So I think that was really good. Yeah, that they actually made life the biggest difficulty of this season. That was good, and I like that they weren't like, yeah, Buffy is suffering from a depression. That they didn't use that. I don't think they used that word. That would have been maybe that would have been too on the nose maybe. Yeah, they really used Buffy's situation as a metaphor, and that was good. I liked that a lot. And the second question, do you see Buffy ever forgiving Spike and having any kind of friendship with him again? Or is it damaged beyond repair? For me personally, if I was in Buffy's situation, that would have been it for me. But I'm afraid it wasn't. I definitely think there's going to be something like Spike got his soul back, and I don't think it's for nothing. It would be strange if they did that, but because I don't know. But then again, when I think about it in a way, I think the person who tried to rape Buffy was kind of the vampire inside of him, and he wanted like the soulless creature, and he wanted to get rid of the soulless creature, even though he's still a vampire, but by getting his soul back. Doesn't mean that he's not responsible for that, but that's the reason why I don't hate him completely. And yes, I was able to imagine them being a couple, because yeah, Buffy's the Slayer and Spike is a vampire, so of course, like with Angel, I really think there is something she cares about him, and I think she still does. So I really think there's going to be something romantic, really, at the end. And I just don't want that. I don't want them being like, no matter what's going on, Buffy is going to have a boyfriend at the end of the show, because I don't give a shit about that. If she wants a boyfriend, then okay, but that's not what I need to know once the show ended. I just want to know that she's happy, and just her having a boyfriend is not a guarantee for that. So, but I think, yeah, to answer your question, there is hope. I think Buffy is going to forgive him. Also, she was kind of, I think she looked kind of sad when she learned that Spike left town. So, yes. And Alex Prado asked, when did you realize it was the Scoobies who are the big bads of the season? You mean all of the Scoobies or one of the Scoobies? Is it like every one of them kind of screwed up this season? Willow risking Dawn's life, and of course became evil and became the big bad, but also Xander leaving Anya after stalling her for ages, Buffy sleeping with Spike and kind of using him. If that's what you mean, then when did you realize? Just now. Because yeah, I realized that they kind of screwed up, but yeah, every now and then they were kind of assholes this season. So yeah, thank you, Alex, for making me realize. And I received another question by Brioni Eddie. First, I recorded my wrap-up video like days ago, and I already watched episode 1 and 2. I edited them, everything's kind of done. Also, this my wrap-up video is kind of done, but I'm going to add this little video, like I just put it in there, I stuff it in there, because yeah, I want to answer as many questions as I can, of course. Brioni sent me a question. She apologized for the essay, but I absolutely don't mind, Brioni. So it's yeah, I'm going to read it in full. She wrote, I liked how the show took aim at its audience in this season with a trio. There is a lot of misogyny in nerd culture. I think the shocking moments of seeing Red are doubly shocking precisely because they shouldn't surprise us, but they do. The stew of toxic entitlement and desire to control that was evident in both Warren and Spike culminated in those moments. Spike's desire to tear Buffy down to his level to pursue her she belongs with or to him because she's less than or broken. Warren's desire to tear Buffy down because he understands her power and can't stand that she has it. I think it's necessarily to show where that kind of thinking leads. I know the visceral nature of the scene with Buffy and Spike is overwhelming, as is the senselessness of Warren's murder of Tara, but I think both are the point. How do you feel about it now? It's had time to sit with you. Tara's death. Like I said, I've already watched episode 1 and 2 of season 7, and still I haven't gotten used to it, that she's not part of the show anymore, that she's just gone. Because, again, they didn't give me the opportunity to mourn her. Everything happened so fast, like the actual murder, the scene, it happened so fast, and everything after that also happened so fast. Willow going nuts, and Tara's body has been lying on the floor like the whole day. Because how do we feel about it? I have no idea how I feel about it. I'm still, it sucks that she's gone, but it hasn't really, yeah, I have no idea. And Buffy and Spike, like I've watched the scene once. Like I mentioned, I didn't even watch it when I was editing it, and I don't think I'm ever going to watch it again, because it was very disturbing. And I think now it's even worse. I watched a little interview of James Masters, in which he said that this scene put him into therapy. He said that he never watches scenes like that. When something like that happens in a show or a movie or something, he just turns the channel or something. He doesn't want to see something like that, and he definitely never wanted to do something like that. But he was forced to do it, like contracts and everything. It was very, very hard for him, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's weird for me thinking that acting, like this job, can actually damage your mental stability. That's, wow. I mean, when I really think about it, it kind of makes sense, but it's also a little bit disturbing that they forced him to do something that was actually not healthy for his health. Like, so yeah, knowing that, it makes everything even worse. And yeah, Brioni, everything you wrote, There's some sense behind these scenes, I guess, but it doesn't change anything for me. Yeah, I just want to forget that that ever happened. Like both scenes, but mostly the scene between in the bathroom. Oh yeah, and she wrote, "It's cool if you don't feel like answering this. I know it's all really upsetting. It is. Yeah, it is. But yeah, I just wanted to answer this question. I don't even know if I really answered the question as you wanted me to answer it, but that's all I can say about that. And predictions for the very last season, the final season. Buffy and Spike, I just mentioned that. What's going to happen with them? Yeah, that's my prediction. Like them being a couple or something like that at the end. Yeah, it's the last season, so I think the big bad is going to be really big. It had to be some, not just a god or something, but yeah, what can be more dangerous and more powerful than a god? But maybe Buffy herself. Buffy being the final boss, Faith breaking out of prison, killing her. But yeah, now that I think about it, now that I really think about it, yeah, what can be even more? What can be bigger than, no, not bigger than God? What can be bigger, a bigger threat, a bigger complication than life? And also I have the feeling, I mean, we lost someone this season, but I think we're going to lose someone in the final season. And by that, I mean Buffy, Dawn, Xander, Anya, Willow, Giles. That's it, right? Yeah, one of them. I really think one of them is going to die. I can't really say. I think it's possible for all of them to die, even for Buffy. Don't want that to happen, but yep, that's my fear and my prediction. Oh yeah, Xander and Anya. They're getting back together. Willow, she will have a new girlfriend at the end, I think. Like her having a girlfriend and Xander and Anya being together again, of course, only if not one of them is going to die. But I don't think, yeah, Willow is single now, and I don't think it's going to stay that way. I just can't imagine. And if that's going to happen, then let me just say that's totally not necessary. I don't need a Terra replacement. She can have someone, but please in season 12 or something. Like, let her get over Terra first and then... Yeah, but no, please. Please don't do that. Yeah, it's been a while since we had a crossover. When was the last one? Was it the one with Faith? Yeah, Willow showed up at the end of season 2 to tell Angel that Buffy died. But can you say was that a crossover? Can you say that's a crossover? I don't think so. Not in my opinion, no. So I think Sanctuary was the last crossover episode. Okay, then I think that's it. Like not having a crossover for 2 seasons and then in the very last season we have another. No, I don't think so. So I think we're not going to have another crossover. So those are my predictions for the final season 7 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah, and that was my season 6 wrap-up video. Thank you guys for your questions, for your comments on my video, on my reactions, and for your support, of course, as always, appreciate it. One thing I want to say, to let you guys know, it was very difficult to make this video, to find the time to make this video, and now I have to watch the next 2 episodes of Buffy. Of course I want to, but the timing is the problem. Because, again, I have a new job. Like, a lot of things happened. A lot of things changed since COVID. And I still have to recover from that. Not only mentally, but also regarding my profession. So I got a new job, and now I have to work in shifts and on weekends and holidays and everything. I have to learn stuff, and it's very, yeah, it's exhausting, but still it's fun, but it's exhausting. So maybe I thought about that to take a break in March, like this month. But that would have meant that I wouldn't have been able to upload the final episode of season 6. And I was like, you can't upload episode 21 and episode 22 like a month later. So I said, okay, you know what? Let's do it. Let's continue. Just see how it goes. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look how it goes, and then maybe I'm going to take a little break in April. Maybe. I'm not sure. Of course, I'm going to let you guys know in time. But also be in short that I'm going to finish this show. So, first, hope to see you guys in the premiere of season 7 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Until then, goodbye, guys.